Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hallmark Guy Podcast. I am Baptiste, the Hallmark Guy, and I'm back with a 2025 Hallmark Channel's Countdown to Christmas movie recap and review. This time talking about A Make or Break Holiday, which premiered on Saturday, December 20th at 8, 7 Central on Hallmark Channel and starred Hunter King and Evan Roderick. It is one of the movies I was most excited about ever since they released the schedule in September. I thought, well, first of all, the premise was exciting. And then I was like, Hunter King, Evan Roderick, how did I not think about this pairing before? It makes total sense. I think they are going to do an amazing couple because they're playing the couple in that movie and they're close in age. How did I not think about this pairing before? So I was really, really excited. So looking forward to it. I was so excited. I'm recording on Sunday night. So I was so excited. Last night when I watched it, posted a few story. Evan saw them, loved them, liked them on Instagram. So excited about that. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the movie, into the recap. So the movie starts at a Christmas party where Liv is running everything, even though she is a guest. She is bringing in some fresh eggnog, but Daniel, who just got to the party, bumps into her and gets eggnog everywhere. Liv has a solution. She brought Christmas sweaters, so they change into those and start talking, and immediately sparks fly. I mean, if love had a face, it would be their faces. Liv forgot to put the mistletoe wreath under the eggnog, but there is no more eggnog anyway, so Daniel has another use for it. He puts it over his head and they kiss. Then we get a montage of them over the year going on dates over the year after that and telling their friends that they think the other one is the one. And we see them buying a house. It is now a year later, and they are getting ready to host their families for Christmas. The problem is, Daniel did not buy the right Christmas lights and did not have enough to cover the whole tree. He also surprised Liv by setting up the Christmas village, but she rearranges everything when she gets home, and he did not order the special turkey that Liv's dad wants in time to get there for Christmas. So they argue, and Liv complains that Daniel does not listen enough, and Daniel complains that she hid the only Christmas decoration he picked, and she wants to hide him too. And they both agree to take a break, even though they then say to themselves that they did not want to. She says, I'm 100% sure, and Daniel like, I'm 110% sure. And then they're like, why did I say that? So they have to call their families to tell them that they're not going to host Christmas. But before she can say anything, Liv's parents tell her how expensive this trip is. And before he can say anything, Daniel's mom tell him how excited she's to come for Christmas because it has been hard ever since his dad walked out on them at Christmas, and that the doctor thinks that the excitement of coming extended his grandma's life. So they decide to still host Christmas and not say anything, and it won't be too difficult because their families are staying at a hotel, but they are not because the pipes burst at the hotel and the whole place is flooded, so they have to stay with them. So while everyone's setting it into the house, Daniel is putting presents under the tree, and he takes one that was already under the tree and hides it. After a few hours there, Liv's brother Reed and Daniel's sister Kim are already suspicious about the way Liv and Daniel are acting. And Kim tells Daniel that she will figure it out. She says, I did not watch Mary Kate and Ashley Case of Thorn Mansion every day when I was 7 for nothing. So, um, at some point, they both admit to their siblings that they are on a break, and tell them that no one can know. But Reed and Kim tell them that a break is a breakup, or could be a breakup, at least to Reed, and is a breakup to Kim. So they both get scared because they do not want this. So Kim tells Daniel to let Liv come to him so he does not make it worse, and Liv says that to not freak out, she needs to steer clear of Daniel. Following that, Daniel is going to try to make it up to Liv by being more attentive and trying to get someone on the phone to get a turkey on time, and he shows her how appreciative he is of everything she is doing. Reed and Kim decide to take matter into their own hands and help their siblings, except Reed messes up since he is not supposed to know that they are on a break, and he tells Daniel, "Oh yeah, Liv's great. She's never been better." Daniel's mom has an early present for him and Liv because ever since his dad walked out the day before Christmas, the holidays have not been the same. But this year she's trying to find joy again, and she has been taking classes at the junior college, and it is a painting of them that as Santa and Mrs. Claus with three elves representing their kids, and there is more space in case she needs to add more. So that kind of freaks them out, but they have a good laugh about it. And Liv did not know that Daniel's dad walked out on Christmas, and he tells her he did not want to talk much about it because it was tough. And she is the reason he started to love Christmas again. He is happy again thanks to her. But he knows she's much happier with the breakup because of what Reed said. Liv is surprised and asks him if he's doing great. And to save face, he says he's awesome. And the portrait terrified him. So she thinks he's scared to think about a future with her, but he's just saying that he's the portrait terrified him because it was a weird portrait. It had like big eyes and everything. And Liv wants Daniel to tell her what he wants for the future. But they get interrupted by Kim, who's like, "Hey, you're starting to get loud, but not loud enough to decipher through the door what you're saying. Let's go to dinner." And at dinner, there's a sweet moment where Daniel remembers everything about the first date. That's really sweet, and Liv is surprised by it. The next day, Kim and Reed have planned some kind of Christmas Eve family Olympics in pairs, and they pair Liv and Daniel together. Kim is with her mom, Liv's parents are together, and Reed and Daniel's grandma are judges. Kim does everything to throw it, like she falls on the ground multiple times on purpose, and Liv's parents are just bad. So Liv and Daniel win. After the Olympics, Daniel and Liv have separate conversation with their siblings, and Kim tells Daniel that he is not a great communicator, and when things get tough, he shuts down, and she tells him he needs to talk about his future with Liv. Liv asks Reed to tell her all of her flaws, and he has a list with her not listening, not accepting help, being controlling, even hyper controlling, being some of them. Daniel's family's tradition is to open a gift on Christmas Eve, and someone chooses the gift for someone else. And Grandma found the one Daniel hid, and it is for Liv. Daniel's like, "Well, let's not open it." But Grandma's like, "No, no, let's open it." She opens it, and it is multiple boxes inside of boxes, and on each of the boxes there's a photo of them until Liv gets to the final one, and it is an engagement ring. Liv does not know what to say, but you can see that she's touched. And Janelle is also like, "I don't know what to say," and everyone is excited. And they start planning the wedding. Like, there's like, "Oh, congratulations! What do you think for the venue?" And Daniel has to stop them, and they have to tell them that there won't be a wedding because they broke up. The families are hurt that they lied, but Grandma calms everyone and tells them to be grateful for each other. Liv realizes that she messed up. She thought Daniel did not care, but he clearly did. But now she is scared that she messed up, and it's too late to fix things now. Kim tells Daniel that he's an idiot for jumping ship when things got hard. It is what their dad did, and he is better than that. He is scared he is not meant to be a father or a husband. And she tells him their dad made a choice, and he does not have to make the same one. Daniel and Liv cannot sleep at night, and so he decides to look up online and found the right lights for the tree. In the morning, Liv is surprised by the tree, and she also gives him the Santa decoration he picked, and he wants him to put it front and center, and she doesn't want to hide him either. They both apologize, and Daniel tells her she's important to him and he wants a family with her. Liv goes on a monologue about how she's sorry and wants to put in the work, but Daniel cuts her off by kissing her. He tells her he is going to mess up, but he's never going to stop trying. She will do the same, but that is what it takes when you're building a life. And Daniel says, "Oh, building a life. Well, you never gave me an answer." And she says, "You never asked me the question." He gets down on one knee, asks her to marry him. She says yes. They kiss, the whole family celebrates, and we see the turkey being delivered outside. And that was a make or break holiday. So I already told you I was really, really excited about this movie, and it was justified. I absolutely loved this movie. It made the top three in the same day I watched Oi to the World, and this movie, Oi to the World, made the top three. I was like, well, Oi to the World, you're top four now because a new movie is entering the top three. Um, what really, really worked for me are Hunter and Evan. Like I said in the beginning of the video, This pairing makes so much sense if you want to start the movie with them as a couple. And it could sound weird because I know they have significant other, but they sold me on them being a couple. I mean, I was like, why didn't I think about that pairing before? They're really close in age. They're kind of, for lack of a better word, the new blood of Hallmark. I mean, I looked, they were the youngest leads this Countdown to Christmas. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they were the youngest leads all year on Hallmark. I have to look at that. But for Countdown to Christmas, they were the youngest leads. And I think that they're perfect for Hallmark. Whoever had the idea to bring those two, they kind of got on the channel at the same time. Whoever had the idea to bring those two needs a raise. They're a genius. Because I feel like they're exactly what we need for Hallmark. I mean, I'm not saying when I said new blood, I'm not saying I don't want the other ones. I mean, they're legends, all of them. But I feel like every time Hallmark has to bring new people. I mean, we still use the people that have been there for a while, but we're bringing new people, and they're the new ones that we're bringing. And I mean, and I also really like them because they're close in age with me. But I feel like they're perfect for the channel, and to lead the movie to be the two younger leads this Christmas is pretty impressive. And they were really good, and they sold me, and I was like really excited for this pair. I need them to be at Hallmark for a way long time. For a very, very, very long time. Their acting was perfect. I felt the emotions. The beginning where they immediately fell in love, I was like, that's beautiful. Like I said, if love had a face, it would be their faces, I think, the way they portrayed it. And them being hurt, so hurt about the break. You can see that they truly love each other and do not want to break, and felt that. I saw that. And Daniel's progression throughout the movie, how you can see he wants to make things work and repair things, and how he's trying to show her that he cares. Those are very, very cute moments, and I felt that. I felt it through the screen, and that's through the screen. And yeah, I loved it. The comedy is very, very good also. I laughed multiple times. Kim is hilarious when she talks about the adventures of Mary Kate and Ashley, Case of Thorn Mansion. She did not watch that for seven, like when I was seven for every day for nothing. That was funny. And then she works with Reed and she's like, you're my Ashley, you're my Mary Kate. I remember he's like, I don't know who these people are. So that was funny. And there's a Friends reference. If you know me, you know that Friends is my favorite show ever, and I put that on my Instagram. She's like, so when Liv and Daniel are talking to their siblings, and Daniel's to Kim tells Kim that it's a break, and Kim's like, well, that's a breakup, and Daniel's like, well, not according to Rachel on Friends. It's like, well, it is according to Ross. It's like, you're on Ross's side on Friends. So that was that. I love that because I love Hallmark, I love Friends. Two things, blending together, and it was such a funny thing to put in the movie. There's a Jonathan Bennett cameo where they're at the restaurant when Daniel remembers everything that happened on their first date, and there's music, and Kim's like, "Oh, let's all dance." She's trying to bring Daniel and Liv back together. It's like, "Oh, let's go dance," and they're on a dance floor, and you can see Jonathan Bennett getting to the stage and taking the mic from Kim, because Kim's like, let's all remember that love is important or something like that. And he takes the mic and he says, the owner of a white Honda Civic, please move your car, you're blocking the driveway. It's such a fun way to integrate him into the movie, especially since the movie has the winner of Finding Mr. Christmas in it. I'll talk about that in a second. But I thought it was fun. And he asks the winner of Finding Mr. Christmas, who plays Reed in the movie, by the way, who's holding like a snow machine. He's like, where'd you get that? And he's like, oh, I won that in a contest. Like he won a contest to be in that movie. And then he argues with Liv's dad, like, because Liv also wants to talk on the mic, and Jonathan's character is like, "Who do you think you are, Mr. Christmas?" So all those little references to Finding Mr. Christmas were really fun. And finally, the end. I love a proposal. I was emotional, and again, you could see how much they loved each other. It was beautiful to see, and I loved it. What I did not like, one thing, the families, especially, I mean, Daniel's mom's annoying at times, and the siblings can be annoying, and grandma as well. But Liv's parents, oh my God, they're the worst. Like she calls them and they're like, the dad, more the dad on that part of like, oh, it's expensive to come see you and the hotel is expensive and blah 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 blah. Blah. Then they get to their house, like, well, the pipes have burst at the hotel and everything. Our room's ready. And it's like, well, they're not, since I didn't know you would be staying there. First of all, why do you ask if the room are ready? And then he replies to her, well, there's always an excuse. It's like, what? Like, it's so annoying. And then they're arguing that Liv, because Daniel loves the like Walmart sugar cookies and Liv's preferred the homemade one. And to make Daniel happy, she bought the supermarket ones. And that's like, oh well, that's so disappointing because our family recipe has been in the family for years. Blah blah blah. I was like, oh, shut up. And then Daniel had gone on the road to find a fig pudding, but he's been like in traffic for 4 hours, so he had to give up. And the dad's like, oh, well, we should have just hosted Christmas. They're not ready. They're insufferable. And it's just the two small things. There are so many that I couldn't even like write them down. He was insufferable. The mom as well. They were awful. Um, yeah, so that's the only thing I did not like. Some things to point out. Everyone had a beautiful skin in that movie. I don't know what they did. I'm sure they have beautiful skin in real life, but the makeup they did beautiful. Even when I was seeing the poster was released like weeks before the movie. I was like, they have perfect skin on that poster. I knew the secrets. Like I said, the winner of Finding Mr. Christmas, Craig Jail gone. I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm butchered your name. He's in the movie. He's a secondary character, which is a change from last year. The winner, Ezra, was main character in a movie that I admit I did not watch. I did not have time to watch. I've heard a lot of people say it wasn't very good, and the acting wasn't necessarily very good. From what I've seen, I haven't seen any of the acting, but production-wise, it looked different. So that's different for the throughout the whole season of Finding Mr. Christmas. They were saying a leading role in a Hallmark movie. Can we call that a leading role? I do not know. It's more like her secondary role, but his performance was okay. But again, it's a change. I mean, and last year Ezra had the leading role. This year he was Christmas on Duty and had like 4 lines. So I don't know what's next for the show, and I don't know what's next for the people who won the show. But yeah, again, his performance was okay. But it was very smart to have him play Hunter's brother because what was one of the challenges on the show to one of the acting challenges was to play Hunter's brother. And when I was at the Hallmark Christmas Experience, I went to Finding Mr. Hallmark Christmas Experience on stage. And at the end of the show, no, before the show started, I think he told us that James, Jonathan's husband, was telling us I'm telling the people behind me, but I heard it. That the movie had already been shot. The winner is in the movie this year, and it's so clever the way they integrated him into the movie. And yes, it is clever having him play Hunter's brother, like a kind of nod to the challenge, and also him play with someone he's familiar with. I think that was um, really smart, and I get why now. Why James told us that. Um, and then, well, Daniel saying the frosted covered sugar cookies from the store are so good. I agree, they're good. You can eat one and a half. That's it. You cannot eat more. I've tried. You want to puke after that. Um, we got a kiss 6 minutes in. That's not a record. I think last year we had in another movie that I do not remember the name, and I hate it. We had a movie way faster, and both time it was because we see the beginning of the relationship before seeing, which is basically in the past, and now we see the present. So yeah, I kissed 6 minutes in. Mark. Yeah. I have a question. What job do these two have to buy that house and have that many Christmas decorations? Like, they have a tree in every room, and a tree is super expensive. And even though she says she buys a lot on sale in January, they have so much for their first house. They have a lot, and it's expensive what they have. So yeah, another question I have is so Daniel hasn't been living in the house actually because he has been stuck in his lease for 3 months. I get that you want to make use of these 3 months that you're paying for, but wouldn't you want to leave the apartment empty and just move in with your girlfriend? That would make more sense. Um, I mean, when I moved apartment this summer, I left my apartment empty for like a month and a half almost, my old one, and moved into the new one. So yeah. And one thing I realized, it is the second Count on a Christmas movie in a row for Evan Roderick, where he is already in a relationship and like he's not the single one looking for like who's gonna fall in love. He already has the girlfriend. Last year was in Leah's Perfect Gift, where he already had the girlfriend as well. So I thought that was interesting because even though you could say now we're going to use the people that are in the 40s or something to already be in a relationship. No, we're using the youngest guy, which I don't have an issue with. But I thought that it was interesting to years in a row not having be the one seeing him fall in love with the girl in the movie. And it's also kind of a new concept with Hallmark to having movies with like people that are already in a relationship. I think they're starting to do it more because they're actors. And again, it's not an issue with me. It's not a dig at the actors, but the actors are getting older. You know, the ones that they're legends, Hallmark legends are getting older. So sometimes it makes more sense to have them already in a relationship than them looking for a relationship. But it's kind of a new concept. And again, I mean, they did that with the 30-year-old. So maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I thought it was interesting to point out. Final thoughts. It is one of the best movies of the year. It is in the top three, and I still have three Hallmark Christmas movies this year from this year to watch. I don't think any of those three is going to take its place. Going to take a place in the top three, and so it should move. Hunter and Evan killed it, and I want to see them paired up again. Give a raise to whoever thought about pairing them up, and I mean, I just want to see them in more Hallmark movies in general, because I just love them. I mean, I discovered Evan with my sister when she was watching Spinning Out, and when he got to Hallmark, I was like, oh, interesting. I laughed a lot and felt a lot for these characters, especially for Daniel. Maybe because I'm a guy, so always seeing it from the guy's perspective. Because even though he has made mistakes, you can see how much he cares and how much he loves her and wants to do better to get her back. So props to Evan on the acting for that because I felt it through the screen. And finally, I thought that the premise seemed a lot like This Time Each Year, which premiered last year with Alison Sweeney and Niall Matter, where they are separated, but her moms come for Christmas and she doesn't know they're separated. So they have to pretend that they're still together. So he comes back to live at home. And I thought, oh, that's kind of a same concept, but I did not think about that movie once watching the movie. So yeah, stellar movie, 4.5 out of 5, which is the best grade I've given to a Hallmark movie this year, Hallmark Christmas movie this year. I gave it 5 to a non-Christmas one. But yeah, stellar. And I will watch it again for sure. So yeah, that is it for Make or Break Holiday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me in the comments what you thought. And follow me on Instagram at the Hallmark Guy Podcast, where I post clips and just like carousel like Christmas movies to watch and like things and behind the scenes and things from the Hallmark Christmas experience and all that. So yeah, at the Hallmark Guy Podcast. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.